Good morning. This is Ann Burns at Homestead Farm Center, and for our Try It Thursday class for April, we're going to be doing a series of short experiments that you can do right at home in your own kitchen. So for your materials, you will need a glass of water, a box of food coloring. I also have a box of Crayola watercolor markers. I have a coffee filter. This is a brown coffee filter. If you have a white coffee filter, that's even better. Or if you don't have coffee filters, you can use a soft, absorbent type of paper, such as a watercolor pad or drawing pad, or even a white paper towel would work for this. I have scissors. I have a clothespin, and this last item might be a little hard to find. You might have these growing in your yard. I have a white daffodil. If you don't have daffodils, maybe a neighbor would let you pick one of their daffodils, or you could just follow along and check out the results online. So to start with, I'm going to show you what I mean by capillary action. I'm going to take my glass of water and I'm going to place a few drops of food coloring into it so that this will be a little bit more visible. I have, to demonstrate capillary action, I have a very, very thin plastic tube. It's like a coffee stirrer would work for this, or you can just watch as I do it so that you can see what I mean by capillary action. I'm going to place the white tube into the water and I'm going to hold the end of it, so I've effectively capped off the end. And when I lift it out, you can see that the water is staying up in the tube. That's what we mean by capillary action. This is the force that allows your circulatory system to work efficiently as it pushes your blood around your body, taking oxygen to all of your cells. So that's what we mean by capillary action. And there's several neat effects that we can study with capillary action. For my first experiment, I'm going to take my coffee filter and I'm going to cut it into these short little strips. So I've already done that with the strips. Then I'm going to take one of my watercolor markers. Now this cannot be a Sharpie marker, it must be a watercolor marker. I'm going to use the black one and I'm going to make a nice dark dot about 1/3 of the way up on my coffee filter, like so. So now I have a black dot on my coffee filter, and I'm going to take that. I have a mason jar here with a little bit of water in the bottom, and I'm going to suspend it in the water so that just the end, I just want the water to touch the end right here. I don't want the dot to be under the water. I want just this part to be touching the water and this part to be out of the water. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it so it's just the end is barely touching the water, and then I'm going to secure that with my clothespin. I might have called it a paper clip before, but it is a clothespin. Okay? Now I'm just going to leave that. Okay? We'll get back to that in a second. For my next little experiment with capillary action, I have here, and I'll scroll down so that you can see, I have 5 daffodils. I have first a controlled daffodil with just plain clear water. I have one that has been placed in red food coloring. I have blue food coloring, purple food coloring, and orange food coloring. And you can try any combination of colors that you want to try. Depends on your imagination and how you want to mix your colors. And these have already been in the food color for about, I'd say about an hour. And let me see if I can show you the effect that is already starting to happen. So the stem of the flower is like a tube. Water moves up and down the stem and it supplies the plant with water. And in this case, it's not only taking the water up through the stem, but it's also taking the food color. And you can see on my daffodil here that it's starting to absorb some of that red color. So it'll be very interesting to see what this daffodil looks like tomorrow. And we can see which color is absorbed the easiest. Here's the blue one. That's starting to look very pretty. And we'll compare these tomorrow and see what the effects are. Then back to my coffee filter. Here is the one that I put in the jar. And as you can see, I'll take it out so you can see it a little bit better. The water is moving up through the strip and it's capturing some of the colors that the black ink is made of. And as it passes up through the strip, those colors separate so that you can see that the black ink is actually a combination of different inks. Here's one that I did earlier, and you can see that not only black, but you can see very, very distinctly the blue color and also the red color. And if you let this keep going, and again, this looks better if it's on a white coffee filter or a piece of white paper, you can see all of the colors that were in the black ink separate as the capillary action pulls the water up through. So try this experiment at home and try out some different combinations of colors. You can try different types of paper, you can try different types of flowers, and let us know what your results are in your experiment. Tune in next Thursday for another experiment on kitchen science at home. Thanks for being with us. Bye.